911, what's your emergency?
Help! My boyfriend that I don't kiss is trapped in a burning hospital.
Right, the burning hospital at... Wait, what do you mean you don't kiss?
I knew you wouldn't understand.
Great, got it.
It's
Love.
so silly. It's so silly, goofy. Welcome back to the First Respodcast, everybody. How are we doing?
Welcome back to another chaste, sexless episode of the First Respodcast.
A chaste, sexless episode, as God intended. We are all children of the Lord, and we are conveying his message, which is that sex is something that you don't even wait until marriage. You actually just don't do it. Abstinence
no kissing
only,
until marriage. No
abstinence
kissing
only
until
means
marriage.
Never, you know? And I think that is beautiful and true. And I appreciate that the show is representing Christian virtues on Ryan Murphy's 911.
It's funny that you say that, because this being a Michael and David episode and us making fun of how they don't kiss and then you bringing Christianity into it, there's like the big needle drop in this episode. The big epic emotional song they play is, I looked it up, it's a song by like a Christian pop star. It's a Christian song.
Couldn't you tell? Didn't it just
kinda
feel Christian?
It was like sonically better than most Christian music, which I assume is why she's so successful. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll get there when we get there.
I like immediately when the music started, I could tell, oh, this is going to be like very like churchy in like a lame Protestant way. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no fabulousness to this. So because of that, I was just dismayed at what we got in that. So I was looking up the 911 soundtrack to try and find this particular episode, because there's another needle drop in this one.
There are a couple, but that's the big emotional one. Point being, today we're talking season 5, episode 8, Defend in Place, directed by James Wong, written by Taylor Wong. From what I can tell, no relation.
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but James Wong is not married to Taylor Wong. I couldn't find any other like familial relationship between them, so I think they might just... And James Wong is famously a prolific director of TV, so I think it might just be a coincidence. If you don't know, I do want to talk a little about James Wong, because I do think his claims to fame are a little relevant in this episode. I mean, he's known for being, I think, one of the founding writers on The X-Files, but more so, I'm thinking of the Final Destination franchise. I believe he and... I forget the other guy's name, but him and another writer from The X-Files created Final Destination, and I think James Wong directed the first one and the third, and there are parts of this episode that are very Final Destination-esque, so I thought that was fun that they got him to direct this episode. Yeah,
that is fun, isn't it? I had no idea about that, and I can't find the needle drop that I'm looking for, so it's fine. That actually makes a lot of sense, because I enjoyed the manic energy of this episode that I felt, contained the spirit of a lot of Final Destination bits, especially with like some of the bait and switches they do with character deaths and whatnot. I thought so we immediately have kind of discordant reactions to this episode, because I really liked it. I really liked this episode. I thought it was fun, and I was thoroughly entertained from start to finish, even with that awful Christian stomp pop song. But you seem to have a different opinion than me.
It's not that I hate this episode. I've never really thought that much about my opinion on this episode before today. Having just watched it again, it's less that I hate the episode itself and more that this episode being a Michael episode and a David episode, those two characters are so weak to me in many ways that I found the foundation of it emotionally rather weak. And then actually something I had not experienced before watching it, by the end of the episode, I was a little mad at David, and I'll get into why. Basically, the whole time I just think there are some problems in my opinion, but the good news is, this being a Michael episode, it's specifically a Michael episode because it is Michael's goodbye episode. And From the
Finally.
beginning, Ryan and I have not been Michael's biggest fan.
Yeah.
I just always thought, you lost me at your biological clock was ticking in episode 1, and he never really got me again because he's been so superfluous to the entire show. You often forget he's there. There are some like non-first responder love interests on this show who like feel like welcome and natural presences, like a Karen, for example. And Michael is just not one of those. I frequently forget that he used to be on the show because the show feels very natural without him on it. I don't mean any offense towards people who like Michael. There's not a lot that's like genuinely wrong with him, like as a person. I think he just never really fit that well into this show. So frankly, I'm happy to see him leave.
I am also happy to see him leave. Yeah, I think it's like you said, like him being so ancillary to the show was so strange because Rockmond Dunbar was main cast from the first episode onto this one. And he doesn't feel like a main cast member. He doesn't even feel really like a recurring cast member. He feels like a guest star that pops in.
Honestly, like deal of the century for Rockmond Dunbar, because there's no way he's getting anywhere near the same amount of screen time as the other main cast members.
Oh, no.
And yet he's presumably being paid like one. So good for him.
You get the check for a lot less work. Although maybe it is frustrating as an actor, like you want to be able to act. And you don't get that opportunity, I guess. Maybe it's like a Jenna Ushkowitz situation where you're main cast and you're billed as main cast and you're paid like main cast, but you really have nothing to do. So it's possible. But at the same time, I can't imagine like anyone being particularly sad to see Michael go. I've never been on Twitter and been like, been scrolling and seen like Michael heads, like, calling on my Michael heads. Where are my Michael fans at? Michael and David.
I don't think he has a whole lot of like individual stans, but I think there are people who like think they like him in the fandom. I feel like
stupid people.
When I was getting dunked on Twitter for making my YouTube video, I feel like I saw people in the comments saying like, oh yeah, her opinions on like Josh and Michael rubbed me the wrong way too. And I remember even at the time being like, now you guys don't actually give a shit about Josh or Michael. You're just like looking for reasons to get mad at me. And I feel like I only ever see him brought up in that type of contexts where just sort of as like an auxiliary, like extra little thing to be like, oh yeah, and Michael. Like,
imagine getting mad about that. Imagine getting mad. It's like you're watching The Vampire Diaries and it's like you get mad because someone doesn't like Tyler's mom or something. It's so weird.
Like, rewatch the show. I guarantee you will not like Michael very much. I'm not, you hated me because I spoke the truth.
And they hated Jesus for the same reason.
Exactly.
So, think about that. But yes, today we're discussing Defend in Place, directed by that Final Destination guy and written by not his wife. And we open with a Haiti mention. Haiti is in the news because of an earthquake and no, not an earthquake, a hurricane.
No, it is an earthquake, I believe. Or no, yeah, okay.
Yeah, massive
no, it is
hurricane.
An earthquake. It is an earthquake.
No, it's a hurricane. It literally says on the Jumbotron, hurricane.
Well, I'm looking at the captions and the announcer says earthquake.
Okay, was it a hurricane or an earthquake? The people need to know. The people of Haiti need to know.
Yeah, wait. The news chyron says hurricane, but the voiceover says earthquake, you guys.
So, like, which one is it?
What happened to Haiti?
Hades is going through it.
I assumed earthquake because there was a real devastating earthquake in Haiti in like 2010, I think.
2010, yeah. That prompted a lot of relief efforts and international outcry. Yeah.
Right off the bat, I feel like we open on a goofy note because over this, serious, sober reporting on a devastating natural disaster in Haiti, we've got the 911 credits music playing. It's like they couldn't think of which part of their score to play, so they're playing the end credits, the dun, 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 which feels so like tone deaf. The
show is really concerned with the fictional Haitian earthquake / hurricane that they just invented for this episode.
They should have used this as a segue into 911 Haiti. like a spin-off set in like Port-au-Prince,
Yeah.
I would have watched.
I would have watched 911 Haiti. Absolutely. That sounds interesting.
But then we continue to be weird because David's watching this on TV and Michael walks in and he's like, in this like sassy voice, he's like, I don't know why anyone would want to live in the path of constant hurricanes, or like the why anyone would want to live in the path of constant hurricanes.
It's like, bro, why would you say that?
Well, no, what I was thinking is like, dude, it's Haiti. Like the concept of Michael thinking that everyone who lives in Haiti lives there because they really want to. Like, I'm
or
not
at the
trying
very
to
least
say
that they really want to, you know, be bombarded by hurricanes.
Yeah, like why first of all, yeah, like why do people live in Florida? Like, I don't know, the place isn't exclusively hurricane, like somebody's got to live there. But also it's like, I'm not saying there aren't good things about Haiti or like that no one enjoys living there, but it is like famously one of the most impoverished places in the world. Like, Michael, I'm sure there are people who would like to seek their fortune somewhere else and probably are not able to. Like,
and it's impoverished for like very specific historical reasons, you know, regarding like the aftermath of slavery and like the French Empire
in the last several decades, like constantly destabilized politically. Like, I don't think, especially people who would be the most affected by this hurricane are living in Haiti because they're like, we just decided to move to Haiti for our vacation spot. Like, no, I
like
don't
they're fucking like, you know, like they're you know, from Brooklyn and they're moving to Tel Aviv and kicking out like a Palestinian like grandmother, you know, like because this is our new vacation home. We're starting our new life.
So basically, I get it's just a little one-off line, but I was like, dude, why would you say that? But why? But also, why would he say that? But also, as David very rightfully points out, he's like, yeah, as opposed to here where nothing bad ever happens. Like, yeah, David, or I mean, Michael, like, why did you choose to live in a place where you would get a brain tumor? No, why did you choose to live in a place where like you would have an earthquake and a tsunami and
cyber attacks
and the mudslide?
And space emergencies in a few years. And if you're watching this scene and it seems like David and Michael have even less chemistry than usual, there's a reason for that. It actually feels like they're setting up a breakup scene here because David reveals in no uncertain terms that he's going to Haiti to help with the relief effort from this hurricane/earthquake. And Michael is like, what? And David's like, yeah. And you're totally expecting them to just like break up, like David's just gonna leave him.
Yeah, but apparently they like each other, is what this episode would have us believe.
So I'm told.
So Michael asks him point blank, he's like, does this mean you're leaving me? And David's like, no. but he's communicated that he's gonna go for like at least a month. Possibly more. It
seems like the kind of decision that if you intend to stay in your relationship, you talk to your partner about before you commit to.
Unambiguously made up your mind.
Yeah.
It's just odd. This is the kind of thing that only happens on TV,
Isn't it odd? Isn't it very odd, this relationship that has no romantic chemistry, no sexual chemistry, no semblance of passion or really, you know, not to put too fine a point on it, but really love, that one of them is just up and moving to Haiti.
And the way David justifies this is he's like, well, my boyfriend introduced me to all of these amazing people who like save lives all the time. And I guess it's rubbed off on me. And Michael's like, wow, I really am in love with you, which you're like, I don't buy it, but sure.
I don't buy it. I can see the script in front of him.
Yes. And it's also just like, okay, I feel like it's almost a little manipulative. Oh, mansplain, manipulate male wife. I think it's almost a little manipulative on David's part to be like, hey, I know I just blindsided you with this insane life decision that I should have talked to you about if we're in as committed a relationship as we purport to be. But this is actually your fault in a good way where you'll feel like I'm complimenting you.
and so I guess Michael gets this proud look and whatnot. And that's supposed to be, oh, they're not breaking up.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. We get a title card. And then at the Bethina household, This was so funny to me. This tickled me so much. Harry's playing Jenga.
Yes, I knew you would have something to say about this. They're playing Jenga again. This is like subliminal messaging that they've healed. This is very subtle storytelling to show that Harry and the family have truly healed because they're ready to go back to playing Jenga without a care in the world.
Bobby's manning the grill, flipping burgers and whatnot. Michael's preparing
He
burger
just wants to
ingredients.
grill, for God's sake.
And Athena sucks at Jenga.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. Well, I mean, Harry played dirty. Harry played dirty because he comes up behind her and pushes her. Right,
but there's
as
no
she's
evidence that she
turn.
doesn't suck at Jenga. There's no evidence that she doesn't suck at Jenga, and so I choose to believe that Athena is bad at it.
Fair.
I just think that's a funny idea. She starts chasing him and whatnot because, he scares her, and she knocks over the Jenga tower, and May's there like,
she pulls out her gun.
Of
She's
mine.
like, "Oh, you want to play dirty?
Oh God!"
Do you?
And then Michael comes over. He stops loitering. She tells him to stop loitering. And then he has an announcement to make.
It's really sad. She perceives everything as a crime because of her cop
Everything
brain.
is a crime. Everything's a crime. And he has an announcement to make that David is moving to Haiti. And everyone's like,
thing
oh,
we just
wow.
learned in the last scene.
That's crazy. Previously on 911. And what Michael is the real, reveal in this moment is that Michael is going to ask David to marry him. He liked it, so he put a ring on it.
And immediately Athena assumes that this is a sad, misguided choice where Michael wants to put a ring on it to try and desperately cling to David so that he won't leave him. But Michael assures her that this is not the case, and I guess we are to believe that as well. And no, he just he thought about. But I also don't believe that Michael is into David enough that he would marry him for the wrong reasons either.
I don't believe that Michael's into David enough to marry. I don't believe that Michael's into David.
No, of course not. I don't believe that they're anything more than two men who have spoken to each other on a strictly professional basis and been in the room together on a strictly professional basis 2 or 3 times for a TV show.
I love colleagues. Mm-hmm. I love having healthy, cordial relationships with your colleagues and never getting into bed with them. And Harry agrees with me because he's really jazzed at the idea of having 3 dads who don't want to touch each other at all. And for that, he's woke, and we love him.
I'm so serious. Michael have more chemistry than Michael and David.
I'm saying
Bobby and Michael
have more chemistry. And
in that camping episode, I was more. I'm not saying they had a lot of chemistry because Rockmond Dunbar just seems very, very straight. But in that episode, I could more readily believe that they had a tryst on the camping trip than Michael ever feeling anything for David.
Well, isn't that funny that Rockmond seems straight and David's actor, in my opinion, also seems pretty honkin' straight, but you know who seems kind of gay?
Bobby. You could buy that. He just has that openness to him, the sort of you could believe it. You could believe it.
I want to see him kissing a man now. But not Bobby now. I mean, Bobby then. Bobby kissing a man now would probably be deeply, deeply disturbing. Unless it's that kind of show. But I don't think it is. So everyone's like, congratulations.
Or he was a vampire. And that's how he came back from the dead in a sexy way.
Oh my God. Vampobby.
You... Vampobby. You predicted Zombobby, but you did not predict Vampobby. And I think there's a lot of potential there.
That was my short-sightedness showing.
There's a lot of Bob-potential there.
But everyone congratulates Michael, and we get a very conspicuous needle drop. It is Shooting Star by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
AKA the song that opens Glee.
Yes. The song
as
that
we
plays
all know, as
when Mr. Shoe is driving that draggy muffler around, and Quinn's doing her little jumps, and Kurt's getting tossed into the dumpster, and he looks at that plaque.
I'm literally so diseased from being a former Gleek that I was at karaoke the other night, and one of my coworkers did that song, Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride, and all I could think of was that song.
Was Rachel on the fucking elliptical machine?
Rachel on the elliptical machine. which is just one scene in one episode of Glee, one tiny use of that song. It's like the exclusive thing I know that song from. I'm sick in the head. Basically, we're about to get a montage of Michael preparing to propose to David because the family asks him, like, so how are you going to propose? And he realizes that he hasn't given it any thought at all. Once again, you are so in love with David, Michael. So he's like picking out the ring with the ring guy. And this is another thing that makes them feel straight to me. I'm not saying like all gay men have to be into like rings and style and like whatever things that are traditionally considered more effeminate and gay or whatever, but it's the way he's like so like he starts looking at the rings and he's just like, I don't care, I don't know what David would like, can't I just give him a watch? It's like, bro.
It's like he put it in his contract that he had to, you know, like, okay, I'll play gay, but I won't do anything gay or even remotely feminine.
I'm not going to be all sissy and stuff.
The fact that he wants to give David an engagement watch is particularly funny to me because do you remember when Michael Bublé did his fucking bro-y cover of Santa Baby called Santa Buddy?
Buddy, yeah. Which, listen, in today's climate, Santa Buddy could mean something completely different, is all I'm saying.
I think Michael would be into it. Michael Bublé, that is. However, there is, of course, a line in that song where he goes, oh, God, what lyric is he replacing from the Eartha Kitt? It's something, he subs out a line about jewelry, and he subs in a Rolex. And I'm like, oh my God.
The only jewelry that it is acceptable for men to own. A big, ugly watch that costs $40,000 for some reason.
I've never understood why people even wear those. Like,
no, I can appreciate a pretty watch, but like Rolexes, like expensive watches are so not aesthetically pleasing to me. They look like...
They're so ugly.
Yeah, they're just so like big and chunky and...
Yeah. It's finance bro fashion. It's Fi-Dye fashion. Yeah. And Fi-Dye fashion has never spoken to me, nor will it, because it is the epitome of like coked out, creepy straight guys who, you know, go to clubs in the VIP section and refuse to dance. Get out of here.
Well, yeah, he wants to get David a watch and he's like trying to pick a suit to propose to him in, and they all look extremely straight as well. You know,
like the only pop of color in these fucking black, gray, and white suits, these monochrome suits, is like a blue tie. It's like, bro, who are you right now? Are you sure you're proposing to a man? You look like you're going in for a very important meeting at like Goldman Sachs. You look like you're going in.
Athena says
she
sees the outfits, she sees the fits, and she's like, "Are you proposing or like asking to take out a loan?"
Yeah, right. Like that's how it feels. He looks like a contractor at like a fucking I don't know, like a Lockheed Martin or something. He just doesn't. He's not gay. He's not gay.
No.
This isn't a gay wedding. This isn't a gay wedding. It's a business arrangement.
Yeah, we don't mean to be stereotypical. Like, I'm sure in a way I kind of respect the representation of like a lame, swagless, tasteless gay guy. And also, it just doesn't feel like there's any gay spirit in it. Like in that sort of depiction, you just don't sense in this that any of it was conceived by anyone actually gay, you know?
It's so sad. Like, because like we're not trying to stereotype. Not every gay has to be into, you know, fashion and, you know, looking at like Prada and the Versace and the, I don't know, queening out about Cher wearing Bob Mackie at the Met Gala. Like, that's not what every gay needs to be. But you can feel something in queer depictions where no queer spirit was involved at all. You know? Like, imagine watching like a John Waters movie with Michael.
Oh, God. He would throw up. He would start screaming and crying and throwing up.
He'd be so mad. He would just be so mad. He'd be scared. He'd be like, I'm not like this. But we go back to the
He'd marry another
jeweler.
woman just
oh my God.
because his body would reject it so hard. But yeah, he finally finishes up his stupid montage and he rolls up to the hospital because I guess he's decided to just come to David's work and pick him up to go to dinner, which is interesting because we later see that he was in the middle of surgery when Michael would have shown up. So I don't really, and like seemingly it would have taken like, I don't know, a good another like hour or so. So I'm not sure what Michael thought he was doing here. But
he doesn't
right
know
as
his
Michael's
boyfriend's schedule because they're not close.
because they don't speak. Yeah. But Michael rolls up to the hospital, starts walking towards it, and oh my god, a huge wing of the hospital just spontaneously combusts. It just
Grey's
explodes
Anatomy!
for no reason.
Grey's Anatomy!
It is. This has happened, like, I swear this has happened multiple times on Grey's Anatomy. I think it happened pretty recently on the show, but then, like, I feel like there was also a famous older episode. And then, of course, there's the bomb in the guy's body.
Classic. That's the one that this episode was reminding me the most of, funnily enough. But yeah, I did know about I think it's the most recent season premiere that they just blow up the Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital. And it's like, why is all of this happening in my poor Seattle? I was getting strong Grey's Anatomy vibes this episode, and I'll tell you why.
Except, because I'm sorry, I guess this is me hating on the episode. It was giving like cheap Walmart knockoff of Grey's Anatomy. Like if you know,
and do
Grey's
you know
Anatomy
why?
is a show based on the medical world and surgeons, right? But this is like a medical show based only on Grey's Anatomy. You know what I mean? Like if Grey's Anatomy's wealth of knowledge and influences was like the real world, this episode's repertoire was just Grey's Anatomy. That's my hot take.
Do you know why? Do you know why? And I'm gonna mansplain this. Do you know why it feels like that? Because this is 911.
Well, yeah, but I get that, but it was like kind of cringe to me.
It's true. There's no Shonda involved.
It didn't feel like it was bringing anything
shows.
original to the table.
Maybe if Shonda was
sad.
here, we could have sanded out some of the edges with the Michael storyline.
If Shonda was here, Michael would never have been born.
1 hour earlier. You're correct about that. David is getting ready to perform his first appendectomy. No, he's actually in full Derek Shepherd mode because he's taking
it's brain surgery. Apparently
this guy
he's a neurosurgeon.
up to brain surgery.
I don't believe we ever hear what the brain surgery is, but all we hear is that it's routine. It's a routine operation, and supposedly there's not much risk involved.
Is that a thing in brain surgery? There's routine operations in brain surgery?
Yeah, you know, when you go to the doctor and have them just like tighten up the screws in there.
Got
I get it done all the time.
Because we all love a tight screw. Now,
it's probably
David,
a lobotomy.
I did not know that David was a brain surgeon. I didn't know that he was a neurosurgeon, and I don't know why I didn't know that.
Probably mentioned it when they first met, but I don't remember. Because why would I? It's David.
Right, it's David. That's why I don't remember.
He's as big a character as, like, I'm trying to think of, like, one of the smallest one-off recurring characters. He's like Linda Bates, you know? And Linda Bates, that feels like an insult because she is so much more of an iconic character to me.
Hold up.
I know,
this is a damn good Linda Bates episode.
No, I know, like, this is probably some of the most depth we ever get in terms of the character of Linda Bates, but, like, in terms of how much she shows up on our screens and how much we know about her, like, as a person, I feel like they're comparable. And Linda Bates is just, like, a person Maddie works with. She's not anybody's love interest. She doesn't, like, affect the plot very much.
I'm going to take it one step further. David is not Linda Bates. David is Terry Flores.
Terry has more of an impact to me, but so does Linda. So
that's because
in
Dispatch
terms of screen
is
time,
some of the best of the show. So
yeah, basically, David is not a character.
David,
and in this
we
scene,
hate. We hate
In
David.
this scene, I don't hate him. I just, like, how am I supposed to feel anything about him? He's like the guy I see come into my work sometimes to get a coffee. It's like, I don't know you.
Indifference is worse than hate core. Yeah. But
I don't think about you at all. Yeah, but what he's doing
this
here
guy
is
is not going
like,
to do any thinking.
He and the guy who's about to get operated on are, like, reassuring the guy's wife or fiance or whatever that it's a routine procedure. He's going to be fine. He actually promises, which I learned from Grey's Anatomy. I thought that you're not supposed to do this. He promises the lady, he's like, we'll take good care of him. We promise, which maybe you're allowed to promise if you're just saying, will take good care. Like, I guess he's not promising that they'll keep the guy alive. He's just saying they'll take good care of him. I don't know. I just thought that was like maybe a rookie move.
No, I agree. I mean, that's like George O'Malley, like season 1 level stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like I guess he doesn't word it in the way of like he's going to be fine. I promise. He does say we'll take good care of him. I promise, like you said. But at the same time, you are kind of inherently promising on some level that he's not going to die, which would
You're
just
like,
make.
oh, I took such good care of him, his corpse when he died. Yeah.
Yeah,
But they wheel the guy
I dressed
away.
him out all nice, you know. Got him cleaned up in the morgue.
The guy like gives the girl his wedding ring to hold on to.
Imagine this is where he asks for a divorce.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, I don't want this anymore.
It's split skis.
Yeah.
I actually want to die on that operating table.
I would rather die on the operating table than spend one more day having to live with you. Yeah, he goes off to surgery.
And she goes to her chick flick.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, he has this line about, like, you shouldn't even hang around here. Go to a movie. You can have your chick flick, and I can have my brain surgery. And it's like, bro, in, like, 2021, like, I don't have patience for this. I would divorce the guy right there if he wasn't already divorcing me. I'd be like, chick flick? This ain't 1998 anymore. I hope you die on that operating table.
What do you think she saw? Ooh, I bet she saw like a showing of The Notebook at the Revival Theater. Ooh, and the entire time she was just sitting there thinking about like, I fucking hate my husband and I hope he dies.
I hope he dies on that operating table. No, so we cut to a nurse with a bunch of balloons getting on the elevator, getting out of the elevator. Turns out she's got the balloons to congratulate Rufus? Is that his name? Rupert.
Rupert. Like the bear on Family Guy, Rupert.
I got him mixed up with Rufus, my cousin's dog that I dog sit sometimes. So we're celebrating this old man, Rupert, being cancer-free. And I guess they have a little tradition in the cancer ward where, like, when you're in remission, when you're leaving the hospital, you ring this kind of ceremonial bell. So old Rupert is like, I'm not gonna give any speech. He's clearly a bit of a reserved man, so he just rings the bell. He's got like this letter he's kind of worrying with his hands. He puts it in his pocket. He rings the bell.
And that's that. And that's that. And the bell cannot be unrung. Now, there's other people in this hospital, right? In fact, there's a dad and his kid. The kid hears the bell and he's like, what's that? And the dad's like, maybe they're having a party. And he goes, is there cake? I want cake. And then he runs into a janitor's cart and knocks over what appears to be an entire thing of paint thinner. Is that paint thinner? It looks like paint thinner. We don't really
see what it is. I also first assumed paint thinner. Basically, all you need to know is it's a canister of extremely flammable liquid of some sort. And this very kindly janitor.
Why was it
this
open?
very kindly janitor is like, no worries, that's just my flammable fire-making liquid. You run along, child. So he does. The dad and the kid are off to see mommy, who has just had
birth.
A baby.
Yeah, they're about to meet the little girl, and David is scrubbing in. He's scrubbing in. Guys, he's scrubbing in. Nobody touches hands. He'll have to spend another 10 minutes scrubbing in while that guy dies on the operating table. Now, Rupert has his balloons. He looks so cute and handsome with his balloons. And I thought this was going to be like a static electricity setup, like all like the helium in the balloons is going to
spark.
like a spark comes out or something. But no, it's actually somehow stupider.
Well, Rupert seems like he's working up the courage to give his little letter to this nurse, Callie, who's much younger than him. So you're kind of hoping like, okay, I hope this is like a fatherly vibe, which I think we're supposed to assume throughout the episode. Because I like Rupert. I like his vibe. He seems benevolent to me.
You don't want him to creep on this cancer nurse? You don't want that?
Not particularly. The only reason that I have any like, you know, untoward thoughts about it is just that he is so nervous to give her his little note. I'm like, why? Like, I get that they've characterized him as a little shy, but I don't know that that's reason enough for him to be so like, oh, it's nothing. Like,
very
don't worry
bashful about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sort of
not to
like
besmirch
putting his two fingers
Rupert's
together,
name,
like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so poor Rupert doesn't get to deliver his note. David is scrubbed in. He greets a doctor named, wait, oh, is his name? Oh, he is this doctor. So I didn't know this.
His name is David Hale.
Yeah.
Of the Beacon Hills Hales?
he escaped the fire. He made it out. He's about to wolf out. It's the night of the full moon.
He's Derek's little cousin or something. I don't know.
He's got to be the big cousin at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Derek would be a very big cousin, though.
Derek would
physically.
Dr. David's last name is Hale. His last name is
The little
Hale.
kid is meeting his little baby sister, and he's like, I don't know what to do with the baby sister. And they're like, you're her big brother. You just gotta protect her. And he's like, okay. In the brain surgery room in the OR, David gives his very Derek Shepherd-esque speech to all the doctors. You texted me while watching this episode, like, he's giving Derek Shepherd, and he very much is, in more ways than one. Because one, he gives them his little speech about, like, that you assume is what he says every time. He's like, let's have faith in science. You know, we might all think we're God, but we're not, or something. And then he turns on his music. And Derek Shepherd, not Derek Hale, he always had his thing where he would say, all right, everybody, it's a beautiful day to save lives. And then I believe he also would play music in the OR.
He would play music in the OR, and David is playing, I said a hip, ha, a hip,
yeah,
a ha.
that song.
That song. The little baby is crying because she needs tests done and she wants to go home and read her books. And the nurse, the pediatric nurse, has to take the baby to do some tests. And the kid's being like a protective older brother right away. He's like, where are you taking my sister? I'm supposed to protect her. And so they say, well, why don't you come with me? Why don't you come with me while I run tests on your sister? And the parents let him do that. Because it's a hospital. It's supposed to be safe. It's a hospital. David's doing his brain surgery. The janitor is cleaning up the pool of highly flammable liquid.
And this is, okay, bad janitor practice on many levels, because he's cleaning this up. He has not put up a wet floor sign. So naturally, when a nurse opens the supply closet with keys, which will be relevant soon, she unlocks the door, she comes in, she immediately slips on the puddle of flammable liquid, because of course you would, because there was no wet floor sign. So this janitor should be fired, basically. I don't care if he has a sort of
eroticism to this.
I don't care if he has a quiet eroticism to him. But the other important thing, that's a little joke for our patrons. Little inside joke for our patrons. She slips on the floor, and the other important detail here is that she is carrying like a pallet of canisters of compressed air, like canisters of oxygen. So like I said, Final Destination.
You don't do this. You don't just walk around with a canister of like compressed oxygen. I mean, just everywhere you go. It is a
hospital, so like fork found in kitchen. It does make sense, but this is, you know, I said Final Destination. We're getting all our little nail biter clues, right? We've got the flammable liquid. We've got the oxygen canisters. We've got the brain surgery being done. What could go wrong? So back in the brain surgery, the brain surgery room, as it's called, they're like lifting a little piece of skull off the guy's skull. Pretty gnarly.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross.
Up with the oxygen canisters, she closes the door. The door gets stuck on something. It's the keys. We can see it's the keys, but she can't. Now we're sort of fast cutting between everyone. She's trying to force the door. She finally forces it hard enough that she flints the keys, hit the floor hard enough to spark, causing a spark, believe it or not, igniting the flammable liquid and exploding the oxygen canisters. Now, I have to note something on IMDb. Somebody wrote in the goofs category, the fire in the maturity ward, I think they meant maternity ward, is sparked by a nurse accidentally scraping her misplaced keys across an aluminum threshold while trying to close a door that they were jammed in. keys are made of brass, and brass is a non-sparking metal. So that is interesting. However, is like every key ever made of brass?
Metal keys are made of... I want to look this up right now. Oh, okay. Here's something that's interesting. So I guess I do have all brass keys, but 2 of my keys are nickel-plated brass.
Wow.
So is nickel a sparking metal?
Yeah, because I was thinking, I have like silver-colored keys,
metal.
but that doesn't necessarily mean...
Nickel is also spark resistant. So I guess...
Dang. So does that mean they make keys... Does that mean they... Well, okay, first of all, fuck the 4 people who downvoted that goof. There were 10 upvotes, 4 downvotes, and those people are dumb. Maybe they were just mad that they said maturity ward instead of maternity ward.
Maybe. Minor typo detected.
I wonder, does that mean that, like, the sort of general practices for key smithing, were those decided to prevent this exact situation where they like, we've had a vision that one day someone might scrape their keys against an aluminum threshold in a hospital surrounded by flammable liquids and compressed air, and it might cause a spark which could cause an explosion followed by a dangerous fire. And therefore, from henceforth, every key we shall make shall be made out of non-sparking metals such as brass and nickel.
Well, it must be, because brass is not a naturally occurring metal. It's a copper alloy. You know, you make it by combining copper and zinc, from my understanding of chemistry, a class that I failed. But I assume it's intentional to be a non-sparking metal. But I mean, before they were made of brass, they were made of steel. So I don't know. I mean, maybe she just got like, so maybe this was just such a stupid mistake of hers, because like the first thing you do when a door is jammed is check to see what's blocking it, right?
Well, yeah, why did she just keep trying? Honestly, it's this nurse's fault. She's dumb. I think we can all agree on that.
I think what happened is Eddie's Christian God suspended the laws of physics for like one moment to say, fuck this one woman in particular. I didn't make you to be this stupid. But we get a 911 call. Code Black. Josh answers. Code Black, everybody.
Josh answers,
Code Black.
yes, and they're calling like every firehouse in the city to come help out at the burning hospital. Understandable.
Which honestly, I don't understand. It's not understandable to me. It can't be that big of a deal, you know.
I mean, I think what makes it a big deal is what they clarify next, which is that, you know, not only do they have to help anyone injured in the accident, but they have to evacuate the entire hospital and move all these patients elsewhere.
Oh,
which they can't all go. They can't all go to like one other hospital. They have to be kind of divided up among different hospitals. So we see all this triage happening, all these sort of commanders like issuing different directives to like get people to where they need to go. And
they have a trauma bay set up for like immediate like needs and everything. And yeah, they say that they have already evacuated all of the ambulatory patients, and so they're going to essentially evacuate all the non-ambulatory patients and see who else they can find in the burning, collapsing, Dark Knight style blown up hospital. And they're starting with the babies. Those
guys are always getting special privileges.
Ugh,
and for
I know.
what?
They're pissing me off, those babies. First you cry, then you shit your pants and make someone else clean it. And then you don't even have the decency to get up and walk out of there yourself. It's like you can't even walk or something.
Now, who should be on the scene?
Extend the ladder. Ooh,
who should be on the scene at dispatch? But Claudette Collins, Ryan's favorite character. I knew you would like this. Okay. Oh, this is why you like the episode, because it's a humanizing Claudette epised.
This is a damn good Claudette Collins episode. This is a damn good episode for her. And you all laughed at me. You all laughed at me. But I saw the humanity in this woman from the word jump. And I win.
Source, I made it up.
I am woker than you because of what she goes through.
You believed she was human even when you had no reason to believe that.
I think like Christina Perri, I'm only human. You know?
Claudette is doing her thing, you know, being a diva at Dispatch. She actually does not have any conflict with May in this episode. Instead, she is just like being a boss lady at the Dispatch. We see Linda being a boss lady as well, like helping somebody on the phone figure out where they can go to get updates on their sister who's in the hospital. Back on the scene.
It's Michael in the trauma bay.
Michael is getting checked out and he's like, I'm fine. I need to find my boyfriend. He's in there. What? I need to find him. And this woman caring for him, you know, she doesn't give a shit. She gets called over someplace else. She starts walking away. And Michael goes, wait. He's a surgeon. His name is Dr. Derek Hale. I mean, David Hale. And the lady's just like, whatever. Like, the hospital's being evacuated. Like, shut up. So Michael's just kind of really worried and nobody's helping him. Now, in the OR, I guess they like heard and felt the explosion, but they don't know what's happened. So like one of the doctors gets a call. She's like, they say it's an explosion in the maternity ward. They're ordering us to evacuate immediately. David is like, we're almost done here. Let's just finish. Like, okay, here, the lady who gets the call is like, they're telling us to close up immediately and evacuate. So presumably there is a way that they could close up here and be okay and like resume this later. That's, you know, otherwise, why would she say that? But David is like, no, it's fine. We're almost done here. Let's continue on until someone tells us otherwise. And thus begins my issue with David here that I had never really noticed before watching it this time. I think that this was kind of extremely stupid of David to do. And I think it'll become more clear as we go on. So let's just leave it at that. David is like, no, let's not evacuate the hospital that has exploded and is on fire, even though it seems like we'd be able to close up and leave and resume this at a later time. Let's just stay here and put everyone in this room at risk, including our patient.
I will say at the top of this, you know, before we go on, I think the reason David did that is because he saw Derek Shepherd do it on TV, and he's like, I want to be one of those moments too.
He was like, you know what I said about being inspired by Michael's friends? I'm going to try and be a hero.
Exactly. And
Elsewhere,
because of that, like you said, he puts everyone at risk. Elsewhere, babies galore.
Elsewhere, Buck is rescuing babies because he's just that good of a guy. He's
the best
handing
guy
babies
ever.
down to Eddie, who is happy to take them because Eddie wants to have Buck's babies, and they're passing him down a ladder on the ladder truck.
They're like relay racing these babies. They're relay racing these babies down the ladder.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Imagine you're like the fifth person in line, and then like you lose your balance, and then you're the guy that drops the baby. Imagine being that guy.
Rough. I know, because we see like Ravi kind of at the bottom of the line.
Oh my God!
Ravi
imagine if Ravi dropped the baby, he would just like
he
quit.
would never live that down.
He would never live that down. He would move. He would like move to a different state.
His nickname would forever be Baby Killer, Baby Dropper.
Oh no. But you see Hen, who's sort of attending to the babies while they get them in like this makeshift maternity ward. I guess
you mean maturity ward?
Maturity ward, you're right. This makeshift maturity ward with these immature, infantile infants. And then they have to send off Hen and Ravi to go up into the hospital, into the flames. I kept writing down whenever someone would go into the hospital. Like I was Reagan in The Exorcist, I would write down, "You're gonna die up there."
Well, Bobby happens to run into the dad of the kid and his baby sister. And he's like, where's my baby? And Bobby's like, oh, all the babies are over there. And he's like, no, my baby wasn't in the maturity ward. She was with my son, who's like 8 or whatever, Parker. They're in the building still. And Bobby's like, okay, that's bad. Cut to Parker, the child, is up in the hospital. He does not have the baby, but he does find the presumably dead body of the nurse he was with. So that's scary if you're a child.
I like
and
that you said
if you're
presumably. I like they said, presumably, she's lying motionless with her eyes open and a massive wound that is bleeding, gushing blood on her head.
She's necessarily dead. Okay, that blood is fresh. She could be revivable.
I'm just saying, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, and she's not quacking that much at all.
No, she's not quacking at all.
But you know who's not dead? But
he does manage to find... Yes, he does manage to find his baby sister, Sophia, so that's good. Picks her up, goes on his way.
And after that... yes. I get to feel very, very vindicated. Because the kid... He takes his baby sister after a commercial break through the mirror of my mind. He takes her into some patient care room or whatever. One of those rooms where patients get cared for. And there's a phone in there. Right. So he calls 911 and Claudette Collins answers. And she is so like gentle and patient with this child. She knows exactly how to direct him to gather information. She's very
nice to young people until they work with her.
Exactly. And you would too for a check. She was an employee. He lost his parents, and so she has him look out the door to find the room number, and he sees a very conspicuous font what appears to be the numbers 318. 318. Yes. So it's like, oh, I'm in room 318. Great. Just bunker down, shelter in place until the firefighters come to get you, and we'll take good care of you. She is an absolute angel with this kid over the phone, and we love her for that. And Ryan was right all along. Now Bobby sends Buddy up to go get him. Buddy up to go to. They say that the third floor has been swept.
Saved by Buddy.
Oh my God, how formative would that be if you were 8 years old and you see these gay firefighters coming in all gay-like and they rescue you from certain death with your baby sister, and then you're like, right. Oh, I'm going to write fanfic about them one day.
I want to be a gay firefighter when I grow
up. So Buddy goes up into the hospital. You're going to die up there. And they're going to sweep the third floor, even though apparently it's already been swept, to find this kid, right?
Now, meanwhile, Hen and Ravi are going up the stairs into the fire. You're going to die up there. And they find out from an employee at the hospital that there's somebody up there rescuing people. It's not a doctor. It's not a firefighter. It's a patient. It's Rupert. It's cancer-free Rupert. He is like moving rubble off people. They find a dead nurse, but the guy's like disappointedly is like, it's not Callie. He's looking for Callie,
Fuck this girl who's not Callie.
Yeah, literally.
And she's not Callie Torres either.
His nurse.
She's not Callie either.
Torres. But he says he's not leaving here without Callie Torres, presumably. Everybody's like, no, you gotta leave. He tells Hen, I survived stage 4 cancer. I can survive this. Which, like,
X to doubt.
I don't know about the logic on that one.
X to doubt, and a line that will come back to bite him in the ass, because dramatic irony is a thing, especially when you're being directed by the Final Destination guy and his not wife.
Well, yes.
Dr. Hale, Dr. not Derek Hale, is up still doing brain surgery, as he so often does.
Right, so apparently they weren't that close to being finished.
Okay, you've met people like this, right? Who are like, I'm almost done, and then they're not. Mm-hmm. David's one of those guys.
No hate, but my 60-something-year-old coworker, Connie, I feel like, not to pathologize, but I feel like she definitely has undiagnosed ADHD. Because, she just does this thing. We love Connie. She's so fun. She's the one of the lights of my life at work.
Connie, and we love you. Come on the pod.
You would love her. She does this thing where she will start a task and then like think of something else and start another task and leave the first one unfinished. Never cleans the meat slicer. Never really cleans up any of her stations, but you know, we have fun. We have fun with Connie.
We love her anyways. She's just like me with my writing projects.
Right, but same. But she would totally be, if she were a brain surgeon, she'd be like, oh yeah. And she's always leaving late because she'll like start slicing ham like 5 minutes before she's supposed to clock out. So I think she would do this. Shout out to my coworker, Connie.
Well, the point of this scene with Dr. David doing his little brain surgery Derek Shepherd moment is that he says that all the non-essentials need to evacuate now because the fire is getting warmer and whatnot. We need to shut off the oxygen. And they're all like, no, we won't leave you. So they don't leave. And then a little kid on the phone with Claudette Collins, he's putting towels underneath the door to block out the smoke, and he did it, but the smoke's still coming through, so she instructs him to take a pitcher of water and to wet the towels. Good thinking, Claudette, and very good for this kid as a good way to not die. Excellent work. Now, here's the thing. He does all that, but Buddy gets to the quote-unquote third floor, and it is engulfed. It's engulfed. Nothing could survive here. Not even like a fire demon from like a fantasy realm could survive in this inferno.
I mean, maybe that could survive there. We don't have proof.
We don't have proof. I'm making an educated guess, especially because Buddy seems to be unwilling to brave the blaze, as it were. Right. It's pretty intense. Like, if this kid is in there, he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. And so, Buddy, they
get
open
hit
the doors.
With like sort of a, not an explosion, but whatever it is when like you introduce new oxygen to a fire and it sort of like explodes out at you. So they almost
a flare, like a flare up or something. Yeah,
they almost get fireballed. And they tell Claudette, like, there is no 318. It's completely taken by the fire. So Claudette, I feel like if I were Claudette, I would be like, well, I was talking to the kid, like, literally 30 seconds ago. Like, there's no way the room was engulfed that fast. I think maybe you're on the wrong floor or something. But Claudette is kind of dumb, and she's like, oh, I guess the child has died.
Oh, stop it. Stop this right now. Stop this right now. This is the information that she had. And we forgot to mention the call cut out. The call cut out before they got to the floor. So it could have gotten engulfed and exploded. She's smart. She's very smart and empathic and beautiful, and we love her. And I actually, this is such a small little moment. But I love it when characters who have never interacted before interact on the job. It makes the world feel big and connected. So when she says firefighter Buckley, firefighter Diaz, it was like a reminder that these characters don't exist in isolation. Shipper. She could be a buddy shipper. She could Fujo out.
She should be
I see
Tumblr.
This for her. I don't think she's a Fujo. I think she's what is it called when you're like a Fujo for women? I think it's called a Fudanchi. Is that correct?
I actually don't know, which is so embarrassing. Like, I feel like a bad feminist right now for not knowing.
Not a bad lesbian, just a bad feminist.
Both.
Both. Because I feel like Claudette Collins would eat up some like Rizzoli and Isles fanfic. You know what I mean? Or like
sure.
She had like a major Xena warrior princess phase. I could see that for her. I'm trying to endear the audience to Claudette. Is anyone a Rizzoli and Isles
You're
fan
like,
in our audience?
Anyone? But fucking Josh comes over. I'm sorry, I'm more mad at Josh than at Claudette in this scene, because Josh comes over and he says
Why are you mad at anyone? This is emotional.
Listen, he says to her, I think you need to take 5. And it's like, Josh, you're not the boss. Where is Sue Blevins right now? Don't tell me you think if I'm Claudette, I'm I'm older
manager.
than you. I'm more experienced than you. Get away from me, gay boy, with all this telling me I need to take 5. How do you know what I need?
Okay,
I would
agree with you.
Shut up and leave me alone.
I would agree with you if the following scene didn't expressly confirm that, yes, she did in fact need to take 5, because she was extremely distraught by hearing she thought was an 8-year-old boy and an infant girl be burned to death, succumb to flames.
I was just annoyed by the presumption here in Josh's manner.
It was very like male like what's the word for it? Presumptuous male, sort of a pig.
Manipulate.
You know, he was kind of piggish in this moment. There's a lot of chauvinistic. That's a good word. There's a lot of firefighters in fire trucks going past my apartment right now. So I think maybe they heard about the call
because they want you
at the hospital. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh,
So
wow, I feel
anyway,
so desired.
fucking Josh is like, just take the 5 minutes anyway. And Claudette's like, okay, I guess I'll get up. And she does.
And Linda notices. Linda is
Yes.
hashtag noticing.
Linda's hashtag noticing. Josh puts on his best, like, concerned face, which makes him look like a cartoon character because that's what Josh's acting is. He does his best, like, oh, little face.
Oh, you
Back
telling
at the
me
fire.
someone framed Roger Rabbit?
Back at the fire, this is the second use of this shot where we're like doing a 360 around David. So I guess he's just been doing that for like since the last time we saw him. Athena shows up.
Yo, let me hit this 360.
Athena,
Do you say around David or on Michael? Around Michael.
I forget what their names are. I'm sorry. David and Michael are that's another thing that I've been struggling with. And I've noticed before on the show, I've accidentally called Michael or Harry by each other's names. And it's because, listen, Michael, Harry, and David are such nondescript names that all have two syllables that, like, I just have trouble when they're all in the same scene. Like, not because I like get the characters mixed up, but their names. It's their names.
It's because they're generic
so, like,
names. You know what I
they're
mean?
very
Like Bobby's
generic
not a
names.
generic name. Eddie isn't really a generic name in the
They're
sense
like
that like
generic-ish,
it sticks out when
but
you
for one
see
thing,
an
we know
Eddie.
those characters better, so it's like kind of more second nature to us.
These are all side
And
characters, yeah. Mm-hmm.
these are all side characters. Not that like we don't know Harry well, but like Michael and David, we don't know well. And I just struggle a little. So it's Michael. I'm sorry if I said David. It's Michael. And Athena shows up kind of looking like a 70s detective. She's in this white turtleneck with a trench coat over it.
Yes, it's actually very Murder, She Wrote, you know, Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, May called me. I'm here for you, or whatever.
Yeah, so there's more tension in the surgical bay. They're like 5 minutes in, they're going to drag us out. And then they're like, I'm almost done. And then he starts like crashing because his brain is hemorrhaging. And we're approaching
like,
stroke territory.
Maybe this wouldn't have happened if you had just closed him up and finished this at a later date when you're not under immense pressure and rushing to finish it. Like,
what a world. What a world.
I'm sorry, this is exclusively his fault for choosing to do it like this. He asked them to leave again, and the nurse is once again like, no, we stay, you stay. It's like you said, faith in science, which is like, okay, I would have had faith in the building exploding and the evacuation order because the building exploded. That sounds like science to me.
It does. And this woman's agent is demanding that she gets a requisite amount of lines in this episode. Now, Ravi smells blood like a blood-scenting hound, and he finds Callie Torres collapsed on the ground underneath a metal shelf. And Rupert is over here like, is she alive? And Hen's like, Callie. Turns out she's alive. She's fine. She's not like paralyzed. She's not, you know, she doesn't seem to have any major medical complications other than maybe some inhaled smoke and like a busted up leg. They have to put a tourniquet on for some reason, even though it doesn't really seem like she's bleeding that bad. But
and she's
I guess
kind of like, Rupert, what are you still doing here? You got discharged. And he's like, I love you, Callie. He doesn't say that, but he's like, you know, I couldn't leave you behind or something.
He's like, this is all
Rupert...
I know. I've been in treatment for so long. I've forgotten the outside world.
But Rupert seems to
Shawshank.
notice. Rupert notices like the ceiling creaking above them. And suddenly he's like, everybody get out now. And the entire ceiling collapses on top of him, literally killing him instantly.
Instantly. He's an old man with brittle bones, and he
it's not
could not
funny,
take that
but
instinct.
it does kill him instantly. And I don't get the opportunity to unironically use the phrase killing him instantly that often, so it was kind of fun to do.
Killing
Ravi
him
just
instantly.
kind of watches in shock and horror.
Ravi has been going through it on these calls recently. My little traumatized boy has never seen death before he joined the 118. And I think that's a very special thing. I love watching my little kitten get tortured like, you know, he's you know, like he's the boy from Omelis, and they're all walking away.
To be fair, to give some credit to our boy, he probably had seen death before based on what he confides in Hen later in the episode.
Yeah, but that's such a throwaway exchange that like it barely even counts as Ravi backstory. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
well, we'll get there. Some people are probably very attached to that bit of Robbie backstory.
No, I'm
that is
sure
pretty
they
much only
are,
mentioned this
and
one
like
time.
no shade to them. It's just a writing and structuring thing that like I wanted to talk about, but
Yeah,
we'll
it'd
get
be
to
nice
it.
if it would like come up a little more throughout the show versus like, I mean, I'll keep an eye out for it, but for all I know, this might be the only episode in which it is ever mentioned.
Which is why I was so confused when people started talking about Ravi's tragic backstory. And like, I completely missed that. I completely missed that because it was at the tail end of a forgettable filler episode.
If you happen to tune out for that one scene of this episode, you might not remember. But elsewhere, Buddy are loading equipment into a fire truck, which is presumably a visual metaphor for them loading other things into each other. And Eddie is really struggling because
Ryan Guzman is doing his best distressed face. Oh, he's trying
which kind
so
of just
hard.
looks like his every other face.
He looks constipated.
I was going to say, it kind of
up.
looks like his I have to poop face.
Yeah.
He's sad because they
He's
think
crowning.
that they just... He's sad because he's literally, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it now. It's not even like the poop thing. It's that he's in side profile, which it already feels like maybe the director was like trying to get an emotional performance out of him and then was like, you know what? Maybe just turn your face away from the camera for this part.
Cover half his face and no close-ups.
Yeah, he's just in this medium shot and side profile, and he's just kind of looking at the ground with a completely blank expression on his face. His brows are like a tiny bit furrowed, and he's not like actively smiling, but other than that, like you would not know what is. But he
gets up to like the third floor to save that kid, and the fire is bursting, and he goes, "Kal-El, no!"
Canonically, he is supposed to be sad about the kid and the baby dying, and Buck's like, yeah, that's too bad, but whatever, you gotta move on. Meanwhile, Linda gets a 911 call from Parker, the child and baby whom we thought had died. He's
Thank
like,
you for
where
clarifying
are they?
that. I don't think we ever said his name. His name's Parker.
I think I may have said it, but I don't know that people would remember. I don't know if I would remember. So he's like, where are they? Where are the first responders that they said were coming to get me? They haven't shown up. And Linda's like, oh, word?
Oh.
And she's like, stay on the phone with me. Hey, firefighter Diaz, I thought you guys got into room 318. And Eddie's like, yeah, but it was completely on fire. And Linda's like, the little boy just called me back. And I would have loved if Buck was like, a ghost called 911.
Again.
No, he doesn't read anything supernatural into it. He's like, he's alive? They're like, where is he? He says, Linda says, he's still saying the 318. Like, is it possible you were in the wrong room? And Eddie says, no, but maybe he was. And he looks pensively and dramatically into the mirror, the side mirror of the fire truck.
I love
great
the
shot,
idea
honestly.
of this. I
Shout
love
out
the
to James
idea.
Wong.
It was fantastic, but I love the idea of this, that in this episode, it's like it's semi-canon that everyone collectively forgot that mirrors exist until Eddie Diaz was reminded
that, like,
in a very
I get that
physical
this is
way.
This is kind of a roundabout thing to figure out. Like, I get that they wouldn't have assumed, you know, he says a number, you would assume it's the right number. So Eddie realizes maybe he saw it backwards in a mirror.
Sure.
I actually thought this was kind of crafty of Eddie to figure out. I don't know if I would have thought of, you know, I feel like my thought would have been just like, okay, let's sweep whatever non-burnt up floors are still left. I don't know that I would have been like, oh, he must have seen it reversed in a mirror.
Well,
so I said in my notes, wow, Eddie's so smart for this. And also what I like about this moment is we get like a little insert shot of Buck's face, and you can just see like the cogs turning in his head. Like he would not have gotten there on his own.
And you see a mirrored reflection of Buck in the fire truck while the cogs are turning.
Yes.
It's
but
well
just
done.
like
It's
I
artistic.
need to like gif this little shot of Buck, because Eddie says like, yeah, he saw the number in the reflection, and then just this great shot of Buck looking so confused and stupid. You can just see like the little butterflies and kittens jumping around inside his skull. Like,
I'll get
no
Gift Boy on it.
thoughts,
I'll send him a
head empty.
DM. No thoughts found. No thoughts whatsoever. I do think that it, like, maybe this is a point against Claudette, but it also might have just been a holistic failure in that, you know, if a child is giving you information, you do want to verify the information and account for potential misinformation, right? Especially an 8-year-old child like Parker, who also doesn't know about mirrors. And so because of that,
he's never seen one before.
Like you said, it's strange that they didn't at least like verify, right? Or that they didn't at least sweep the non-engulfed floors. But then I guess the counterpoint emotionally is that, well, they're sad that they think that a kid just got burned to a crisp and they failed at saving him. So I don't know. I can understand this. But yeah, it is a little strange that they didn't verify the information that the kid was giving him. So that's neither here nor there. But yes, they go up the stairs, and they're going to die up there. But Parker's not, because they get there right in time. Doesn't even seem to be a lot of smoke in the hall, to be honest. I think Parker was being dramatic. Like it's a good amount of smoke, but not like a crazy amount. And so they get him out.
Yeah, like suck it up.
He's unconscious, but he's fine. The baby is conscious. And I was doing some research. Apparently, babies are like surprisingly physically resilient, which is all the more confusing when you think about the fact that they can just die whenever.
Point being, the baby is still conscious despite all the smoke inhalation.
Yes.
Linda is like,
they get him out.
The children are alive. She looks over at Claudette's chair and it's empty. So she goes into the break room, finds Claudette, who's clearly emotional. She's like crying, but as soon as Linda comes in, she like wipes her tears. She's like, oh, I'm fine, whatever. Linda like closes the break room door and shuts out somebody in the process. She's like, not right now. And I was like, if I were an employee in this place, just like, who's not a character on the TV show, who's just trying to do my job, I would be so annoyed. I would be like, oh, so I guess these guys own the break room now.
This is the start of your work beef with Linda Bates.
Yeah.
Sister of Norman. Not the person you want to have work beef with. I wouldn't fuck with anyone related to Norman Bates. So
yeah, true. I would start a nasty rumor that her brother was the Norman Bates.
And no one would believe you until they did. And by then it was too late. But yeah, she tells Claudette that they found the kids and that they found that Parker gave the wrong room number. He saw it in a reflection. Claudette's like, how is this possible? But he called back. He's alive. He's okay. And it's this nice moment between these two characters. I like their implied friendship here. And Claudette has she starts to break down a little bit because she has this sort of release of this this traumatic experience. And
I'm
Linda
so sorry,
says,
I can't take it completely seriously because Claudette's in this really funny, kind of vintagey blazer that's like a little too tight and has shoulder pads, and I kind of love it because it feels like an authentic thing that like a lady would wear to work. Like it's kind of silly and frumpy in that realistic way.
It is frumpy in a realistic way. And like as offended as I am by the implication that, you know, Claudette would wear a frumpy blazer, at the same time, I also like the idea that she's very attached to her childhood in the 80s. And this is the woman that she always aspired to be. Right.
Or like maybe when she started her career, she like still wears the same blazers or style of blazer. Also, you know, it's not necessarily that indicative of her fashion sense. It could just be a creative choice to emphasize her unease, her feelings of unease.
The blazer is red, yes.
Yes, like fire.
Linda gives her moment to have it in privacy through the glass. And we go back to the hospital where so much of this episode has taken place.
Yes.
And they're still triaging. Michael and Athena are looking for David's face in every dead body, and they haven't found him. And they rope Bobby in, as they so often do. Meanwhile, we're hip to the jive that David is actually still in surgery, and they apparently have now only 20 minutes left on the battery backup. So that sucks for them.
Yeah, like the power goes out and now they're on generator power.
For like the third time, David says, I'm almost done.
Yeah,
And
like,
I still
David,
don't
what did
believe
you
him.
mean by almost done?
He's been almost done for like a half hour. Like, finish.
I would say, I feel like the time implied here is like at least 1 full hour.
Yeah, at least. That's a long time to be almost done. I wouldn't believe anything this guy says. No wonder he's pretending to be gay, you know?
But this is what I mean. This just seems like a real shoddy thing for him to do. Like, not good thinking.
Yeah. And of course he couldn't have accounted for like the definite probability of like a freak brain hemorrhage. But at the same time, you should account for the possibility of that, especially if you're doing an invasive procedure that involves taking off part of a guy's skull cap. So yeah, points against David here. Now listen, Rupert is dead.
Rupert is so dead.
And Ravi is realizing that he's not built for this, okay? He's not. He is suffering. He's going through it. He's got this faraway look in his eyes, and Hen is like, chin up, pal.
Yeah, Ravi's like, I should have been the one saving him, not the other way around.
It is Ravi's fault that Rupert is dead. He's a liability, and he should consider change in careers. I think he'd be a great like school teacher, or like maybe like a great like bond trader, because he's a capitalist.
Landlord, perhaps.
You know, maybe I could see him having a future as like a YouTuber or a TikToker, Dr. J style. Dr. J style TikToker. Or, you know, maybe he wants to dance.
Maybe he does want to dance. Maybe he just wants to dance.
So, you know, if he's not built for this, at least he can be built for other things. But Bobby
at least there's always the stage.
You know, there's a Michael and Athena moment. It's one of our last that will happen on the show. So it's worth pointing out that like it happens, like it comes and it goes. It's very little of consequences said. But then Bobby finds David. Dobby moment.
Dobby moment. Bobby bursts into the operating room. Not like into the part where you have to be sterile, into the part where I guess you don't have to be sterile and you can just like press a button and you know, radio with them.
Bobby finds David and he's like, you gotta get out of there. You gotta stop doing what you're doing. And David's like, I'm a little busy.
Dad, just 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
And
get out of
Bobby
my room,
also,
I'm playing Minecraft.
Bobby also happens to drop that Michael wants to propose, so he totally ruins the surprise. He's like,
completely
your husband's
unnecessary.
worried about you or something. And David's like, he's not my husband. And Bobby's like, he wants to be. He's waiting out there with a ring or maybe a watch. I don't know.
Is this supposed to be allyship? Is this supposed to be like romantic or something? I feel like this is just...
I like to think that this is a very angsty scene where Bobby is like secretly really sad and anguished that Michael is going to propose to David, because of course Bobby and Michael have their complicated situationship, but he's decided to sort of set his own feelings aside for the good of the happy couple and just sort of watch on, you know, with his unrequited love as he watches Michael and David's happiness. So it's actually a very sad scene.
And so, but you know, David is adamant. He says, "I have to finish," which is something he never does. He never does with Michael. Bobby gives him 10 minutes.
But to be fair, he never really seems to do it in surgery either, because he has been saying this whole episode that he's almost finished, and he won't just do it.
He's got ED. He's got erectile doctor.
Emergency room dysfunction.
And he needs 12 minutes. Meanwhile, the flames are here. The flames are here.
This is so weird. I'm sorry. I did not even really get this. Bobby is like, this is where we get the title drop of the episode. Bobby's like, everybody defend in place. Like every firefighter. It's also crazy to me because like, surely like their work is not done here, right? Like surely they're still like helping patients, like getting people. But no, he's like, everybody, all of our resources, please come to this one guy's operating room so that we can like help keep the flames at bay from this operating room and clean up the mess that this guy made for no reason by choosing to stay here and stick it out when he could have just closed him up and stopped. This is when I was like, for the first time watching this episode, I was like, okay, I think David is like in the wrong for this. I don't get if they wanted, I feel like this is just a writing problem where like clearly they want it to be like a noble thing that David had no choice but to stay. But then why would they make it emphasize that it's a routine procedure? It should have been like, he's getting a brain transplant today, which I don't think is something you can get for the record, but it should have been like, we're doing the first successful brain transplant today. And if anything in this surgery gets interrupted, this man will die and his wife will be heartbroken. And
science will be set back 50 years. Yeah. So like,
yeah, it doesn't have to be the brain transplant, but it should have been an urgent, time-sensitive, life-saving surgery that will go wrong if it gets interrupted.
That's the plot of Poor Things, is the brain transplant.
True,
oh my God,
true.
Imagine if this turned into Poor Things.
That'd be awesome.
I totally agree with you that, like, the
why
stakes
wouldn't they just write
it
to have more urgency?
Established enough to justify this kind of thing, yeah.
As it is, it just makes it seem like a very selfish, kind of hubristic decision on David's part, where he's like, no, I have to finish my operation right here because I'm that important. And,
this will be my 300th surgery before I go off to Haiti.
Right. Or like it seems like he lacks the urgency or it seems like they very intentionally had his staff be like, no, we want to stay with you so that we don't think about how he is putting everyone's lives in jeopardy who's in that
literally
room.
Everyone.
And I just think this is a weird note to go out on for David. It's like the first time we've really seen him like making decisions and like being a character with agency, and I don't like it. I think he's not doing good things.
But in that way, I think he and Michael are a match.
True. Two problematic kings.
Exactly. And they found love. And inshallah, we shall all find a love like theirs.
They found chaste, kissless love.
We found love in a kissless place.
So true.
My problem with this scene is that, they do the montage of all the first responders responding to Bobby's shelter in place. Defend in place order.
It's confusing.
It's a whole thing. But they set it to, as we've established, the very Christian sounding song.
Ballad.
This Christian piano ballad with like, a solid stomp clap energy, and they all start praying. Everyone starts praying.
Well, yeah. Then there's another very
people.
Strange moment where Michael and Athena are outside the hospital and the wife of the guy in surgery is like, my husband's in surgery and I don't know if he's okay yet. And Athena says to her, may we pray with you? And like, I'm not saying like, that's fine but if my loved one was like in such a situation where I was like not sure if they were alive or dead and I was this worried and some rando was like, let's pray, like Quinn Fabray style, I would be so offended, honestly.
Okay, that's the atheism coming out. I think we're led to assume that this woman is like religious in some way.
I guess, but it's
by
just
how she goes with it.
I think it's a presumptuous thing to say to a stranger, can we pray with you?
It's true. It was hashtag problematic.
I would not welcome that.
Gen Z
and
is
I can
trying to
imagine
cancel
plenty of young
Athena
people
Grant.
welcome that.
But I agree with you that a lot of people wouldn't, agree with that. But that's not my problem with this scene. My problem with this scene, as we've been circling, is the choice of music. It just completely... it was the first moment that I sort of rolled my eyes while I was watching this episode.
I just had a bit of an aha moment. Do you think this part of the episode takes on such an overtly Christian vibe because they were trying to honor Rockmond Dunbar's religion? Like, because this is the episode that he, like his goodbye episode. Do you think that was kind of I don't think there was him.
No, because I don't think there was any honor in his goodbye, and I think it was entirely ill will that he was
then in that
leaving
case,
the show.
Do you think that this was actually supposed to be ironic and supposed to be making fun of him?
That's the funniest answer. But my solution to this problem is that they should have chosen a different song. And I have an idea.
Okay.
I have one that is sufficiently Christian to tie into Rockmond's religion and whatever they're going for with this scene. And it's also themed around it has like an element of thermodynamics, you know? So indulge me if you will as I give my suggestion for what they should have played instead. Blow the candles out, looks like a solo tonight. I'm beginning to see the light.
Yeah.
Blow the candles out.
Beautiful, Ryan.
Thank you very much. I think that would have tied this all together.
That would have really jerked my tears off, I can tell you that.
There would have been no tears left to cry. But instead, we get this weird Christian stomp clap ballad, and then they do the defendant place. They get the hose line up. The hose lined up, and they put out the fire as much as they need to finish the surgery. And then they, I just saw the brain again. Oh, it's so gross. And they finish. David gets to finish, yay! And then they all walk out
David.
of the inferno, living happily ever after. And ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him.
Yeah.
And everybody lives mostly, except for poor Rupert and
Rupert.
that poor nurse, that peds nurse,
unnamed. Yes, Bobby
possibly non-union
strolls out of the fire with David, who hugs his boyfriend Michael. They share a chaste but presumably loving hug. Athena kind of fujos out watching them,
and then David says to him, "Yes." Yes.
I'm sorry, yes. I'm cringing so hard.
And then they go in for another hug.
They go in for another hug. Do you think this is the first couple ever to get engaged without any kissing? So definitely not. I mean, there's like those people who genuinely do wait till marriage to kiss. Not a lot of people, but from what I understand, there is like a subculture of highly devout evangelical Christians who refuse to kiss before marriage, and maybe Mormons.
Is that the twist with Michael, do you think? Michael is the highly devout
he was Mormon
evangelical, like Mormon perhaps, who's also getting gay married?
If so, that would make him a trailblazer, trendsetter, a unique man. Wow. And that's worth something.
Is it?
But presumably he and David are engaged despite not having rings and despite not kissing, despite being boyfriends who don't kiss, despite not having any physical chemistry or emotional chemistry, I guess, or just like normal human emotions.
Yeah. But so Hen and Ravi as they're colloquially known. Raven.
It's spelled like Raven, but it's pronounced Raven.
That's cunty, Raven. Yes,
it's kind of cute.
They find
that
Callie
would be my
Torres.
drag name, Raven.
Oh my god, Raven.
It's pronounced Raven.
Can you put like a little the accent aigu over the e?
Yeah, on
Raven.
Some part of it, of course.
I love that. But they find not Callie in her little trauma bed, and they're like, Rupert's fucking dead. He wrote you this note, girl. And then it's very emotional, and she's like, I can't read it. And I don't know if she means physically. I think it's emotionally.
I also had this question. I also had this question because she's in like a neck brace, and I thought like, oh, maybe she like literally can't look at it.
Because it is like it is small font as well that he wrote it in.
Right. She's like, I don't have my contacts in right now. But Ravi offers to read it for her. And it's this sad letter about how...
there's a choice here that bothers me, but yeah, please explain the letter.
Yeah, it's just this sad letter from Rupert being like, all my life I felt like I had bad luck. And so when I got cancer, of course, I just thought, great, more bad luck for old Rupert. But then I saw you smiling in the chemo room, and you changed my outlook on life, and I decided to fight. and so you're the best, Callie. We beat this cancer. I sure hope I won't see you inside this hospital again, but I sure do hope to see you on the other side. And you're like, well, that was, good poetic irony for him not knowing he was about to die. And once again, there's a little part of me that's like, I hope that was not intended to be romantic from like 70-year-old Rupert to this like 30-year-old nurse. But I mean,
it doesn't feel.
It doesn't
romantic
really matter
to me.
if it was.
But I mean, he
no,
is
I don't
dead.
think it's supposed to be. It's just kind of weird to me that they never clarified.
No, it's true. But he is dead, so even if he had romantic
even
feelings,
if it was,
he'll never
it's like
act
we don't have
on
to
them.
worry about that. Yeah.
However, my problem with this scene is that, it begins in a somewhat tasteful way, because she has Ravi read the note, and he reads the first couple lines of the note. And then it switches to Rupert narrating from beyond the grave, and we get a montage of everyone else reuniting, all the happy families and whatnot. People live. She slips the ring finger back on Brain Boy's head. And I was left feeling very disappointed in this, because I thought, what a tasteful and compelling choice it would have been to just linger on Ravi reading this note to this woman, not cutting away to anything, no music. It's just Anirudh reading this note in a very like Will Schuester at like Sue's sister's funeral moment. And it kind of robs Anirudh of a really great acting moment. I would have loved to see that, if not just for him, because that could be a real standout moment for him and for his character. And we could see a lot of internalness with Ravi instead of having it ham-fistedly shoved down our throat in the following scene. So that's why I was disappointed in this choice. And it felt, the choice that they made felt very safe, very, very conventional. And if they had done the more interesting choice, in my opinion, it would have been like almost shocking to have it in such a, no offense, filler episode.
Well, that's the thing. It would have been almost shocking. And I think that for 911, that would be a little too artistic.
Okay, but the show didn't used to be afraid of like having like beautiful or artistic moments. Like, do you remember when we were talking about season 1 and like there would be like a moment that like surprised us by how tasteful it was and how like grounded it felt? And like we would talk about like how like, yeah, they never do stuff like that anymore in this show. Like season 2 had moments like that as well. And it's a shame that the show is so comfortable in its conventions that it won't even do something understated, Yeah,
but yeah, it's an episode of this show, and it was directed by Final Destination guy. And far be it from me to understate the artistry of the Final Destination movies, but like technical elements wise, they do tend to be pretty traditional.
Not too much on Bloodlines.
I thought that one was like entertaining, but of the franchise, it wasn't like that great for me. I thought it focused too much on the family plot. Like I respect that they were trying to do something different, but like because that's never been a thing in the Final Destination movies, I found myself just getting kind of bored when they tried to like make us care about the dynamics of the family. It's like we all know everybody's gonna die.
That
just
is
have
fair.
fun with it.
That is fair. I guess the fivefold friend group thing was a little played out. But yeah, so
they were probably just trying to find a different angle on it. But
I think next time they should do it
when it's just a bunch of annoying people getting like anvils dropped on their heads and stuff.
I think next time they should do it in like, I don't know, what would be like really out of pocket. Like do it in like a psychiatric hospital.
Ooh,
like the New
that'd be
Mutants.
kind of cunt. I mean, they
Wouldn't
have the one girl in a psychiatric hospital in number 2, I think.
That's true.
The girl from the first movie, Clear Rivers, greatest movie name of all time. I mean, character name.
She ain't no Julie James. We can say that.
Or any Lily Blossom Bloom.
I
think Lily Blossom Bloom is a daughter of Clear Rivers. Anyway, I love the Final Destination movies. I've seen them all like 2 or 3 times.
I love them too. I'll never drive behind a log truck ever again.
Of course.
And honestly, I've never been comfortable sitting in the drive-thru either.
Oh yeah, because of that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Or at the gym, doing the. If you couldn't tell, Final Destination 3 is my favorite one.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
used a self tanner. Never used one of those,
roller
like a tanning bed.
Okay. Are you trying to avoid talking about the scene where Ravi reveals his sad backstory?
Oh no, I was just riffing. But basically, there's this whole montage, and then afterwards, Ravi just looks despondent and beautiful.
He drops the bomb. I spent practically my entire childhood in hospitals. And he's like, so I can identify with Rupert, because those doctors and nurses become your family. And Hen's like, you never told me that. And he's like, no,
I'm learning this for the first time.
I haven't been a POV character until this very moment in time.
He was in chemo on the weekends instead of soccer tournaments. But they just cheered him on because he loved him.
If you were really dedicated, you would have found a way to do both.
Yeah. Where's the love of the game, Ravi? I will say Anirudh is selling this performance. I love him, and I love character for him. However, this does feel a bit like a watered down, like Rob Lowe. I had blood cancer when I was a baby in Parks and Rec. Do you remember that?
I forgot about that. I thought you were going to reference 911 Lone Star, in which Rob Lowe also has cancer.
Yeah, but like, I mean, there it's a thing, you know? But like, this feels like, you know, Rob Lowe in Parks and Rec just like randomly dropping, yeah, you know, I had blood cancer, so now every day's a blessing. And Ravi has like the inverse approach, like, yeah, I had cancer when I was a kid, so now I'm traumatized.
So every day is terrifying and makes me sad. Wow.
And I walk around like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
When you put it like that.
He looks like Courage a little bit in this scene, doesn't he?
He has like those adorable, big, scared eyes.
Yeah.
Like, he always kind of looks like a little orphan who's just been told that his parents have perished in a fire. But Hen finds a way to turn it around. She's like, I guess that's why you do it. That's why you pay it forward. And he's like, yeah. And he smiles. Meanwhile, at the dispatch...
He smiles. His smile is so cute.
He smiled. At the dispatch, Claudette and Linda get into the elevator together.
You may be mad at me for what I'm about to say, but they're in the elevator, and Linda says, how are you doing? Claudette's like, I'm fine, trying to ice her up, but then she softens, and she's like, I'm better. Mm-hmm. And Linda's like, you know, it got really rough, and she said, I broke my number one rule, you know, no crying at work. Because she has a very steely exterior. It's all a mask because she has a lot going on under the surface, which you would know if you guys listened to me.
If we believed women.
And then she apologizes to Linda for making her have to see that. And Linda goes, don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything. Then they fist bump. And let me just lean into the mic and say, Lindette moment.
Oh, no,
Lindette
I'm totally
moment.
with you here. I'm totally with you here. Lindette moment. Clauda moment. Clinda. Oh, that's kind of cute.
Right?
Kind of suggestive. I think this is cute. And yeah, I would ship them. Why not? Mm-hmm. Why not? I'll ship two beautiful people on this show.
They could even like feed into each
Except
other's
for
like
Michael
best
and David.
qualities. But Michael, we get the reveal back at Michael's apartment that he did go for the straight man watch after all, and it's fucking ugly. God. It's an ugly ass watch.
Yeah, it's just as ugly as you would imagine.
Like they're like, let's see the bling, and he's like, let me show this off because I'm going to be hiding it under my sleeve for the rest of my life.
Also, like, I feel like it's a little. I get that, like, I guess otherwise he would have had a nice flashy ring, but like, is it that good of a look to like go do relief work in Haiti with your flashy several $1,000 watch on your wrist?
It's worse with the watch because I
feel like it's worse with the watch because watches are traditionally a symbol of ostentatious wealth. And I get that an engagement ring can be that, but especially like a men's engagement ring that's typically a plain band would be less ostentatious. I'd be a little insulted if you came to help me rebuild my house in Haiti and you had that watch on your wrist.
Well, I'm sure, you know, engagement rings are a thing in Haiti as well. Like, I'm sure people in Haiti would see it and, like, the thought wouldn't be, wow, you're rich, asshole.
He's
it would
trying
probably
to show off his
be
wealth. It'd be like,
hey,
oh, you're married or you're engaged.
That's an interesting conversation starter. Let's talk about your engagement while we fix up this house and do relief. And it's a point of connection. It's actually a much more tasteful choice to get a ring.
That's the thing. It's not tasteful, not very tasteful when you're about to go do relief work in an impoverished area.
It's a little tasteless, one might say.
Yeah, one might go so far as to say.
But hey, good news, because David is confirmed going to Haiti, and Michael's going with them.
Yeah, Michael's like, by the way, family, just like my boyfriend sprung a decision that will affect me on me without discussing it with me first, I'm going to spring a decision that will affect all of us on you without discussing it with you first. The fact that I, too, am moving to Haiti, even though I am your father and I have responsibilities to you, I am leaving the country. And it's
but
like,
won't impact the show at all.
That's the thing. It'll impact his kids, like if this was real life, but it won't impact the show. Mm-hmm. So, like, the family are a little startled, but they're like, okay, good for you, Dad. And we, the viewer, are like, at last, we're free. We're free of Michael.
And tells his children very somberly, the network has informed me that by refusing to get vaccinated, by continuing to refuse to get vaccinated, they have no choice but to terminate my contract. So this is the last time I'll ever see you. Bye.
Bye. Also, hold up. Rewind. May is wearing, I believe, a different sweater that looks like the lesbian flag.
This one is so egregiously gay. It's insane. This is so egregiously
what was
sapphic.
She trying to tell us?
There's
sorry.
No
what was the
hint of bisexuality
in
this sweater. There's no purple to be found.
This one is
it is
just
all
like red,
pink,
and orange, and
white, orange, red. Like that's all it is. This is insane. What's happening here? May Grant.
Like May, you can
I know
just
what you
come
are.
out. You can just tell them. You don't have to keep dropping hints in your sweaters. Although, keep doing it. It's fun.
It is fun. And it's an adorable sweater as well. I know you would wear that.
It is. And the family's like, good for you, May. I mean, no, I got confused there. Freudian slip. The family's like, good for you, Michael.
You're like, good for you,
fun.
May. Bye, Michael.
Congratulations on your coming out. Good for you, Michael. Like, good for you. Because Michael says, he explains this by being like, I felt a little lost after the brain cancer and the pandemic, but watching what happened last night, I saw all these people come together to save someone they didn't even know. And, I decided I should be a part of that.
And it's like, okay, pal, let's wrap it up so we get you out of here.
Yeah.
It's like insane that not only is he going to go build houses but he's married to a doctor and he's going to be infecting the entire country of Haiti with the Delta variant.
Well, yes, if this were real life. Hopefully in the show, Michael got vaccinated, but who's to say? He did want to refuse brain cancer treatment. You guys, I forgot about that time in season 4 when he very conspicuously did get vaccinated. My mistake.
But hey, we get a previously on 911 montage set to an Otis Redding song.
Oh my god, this is the most embarrassing part of the episode.
Yeah.
They do a Michael greatest hits montage. And it kind of feels incredibly...
It's not a deep well.
No, exactly. It feels kind of insanely random because it's clear that they don't have that much material. So, there are a couple, poignant Michael moments of him having a good emotional moment with Athena or the kids, but a lot of them are just, random, here's a scene where Michael had a line.
Where's Bobby? I need my partner.
No, literally, why did they include that? It's, clearly a scene, because remember in that scene, you were supposed to be suspicious of Bobby, rushing off to go shower, so you see him enter the scene like that and you're distracted. The point of that scene wasn't that Michael are so close. It was it's just ridiculous. Or him in the There Goes the Neighborhood, him people watching with his telescope. It's why is that? Oh, our fond memories of Michael. Remember when he peeped on his neighbor for a week?
Because it's one of his two storylines. It's one of his two storylines on the show, and they had to include it. This serves less like a Michael highlight reel, because there is none, and it feels more like a highlight reel of Athena's fabulous hairstyles through the years and a montage of Bobby, slowly but surely supplanting Michael in the Grant household. And then it ends. And then it ends.
In the present, they get Bobby in there, they get David in there, group hug. Bye, Michael.
So
good riddance, honestly. I'm sorry.
Honestly, yeah, good riddance, Michael. Sorry, you'll be name dropped a couple of times for the rest of the show, but you're not appearing, and I'm pretty sure that door is welded shut if the law is to be believed. So that's the end of Michael, and that's the end of the episode.
It's not that I thought this was a terrible episode, but I just think it being so framed through Michael and David makes it weak. I thought the David stuff was like poorly written in such a way that he comes off kind of badly. I thought the Michael stuff is just so uncompelling because this relationship has been not developed at all, and they've chosen not to make the performances compelling at all. Like, it really made me wonder what Rockmond Dunbar's arrangement was here. Like, did he straight up say, I'm not kissing a man on screen? Because, like,
straight up say, especially, no, like gay but no gay. That must have been in his contract, right?
Because especially in that scene at the end where he's like, where they're reuniting, and David's like, yes, of course I'll marry you. It's like any normal show would have a couple kiss after that, but they don't. And it's so conspicuous, and it's so eerie.
It's the only engagement I've ever seen on TV where they don't kiss.
And it's so weird to me that I'm like, so you agree to play a gay guy, but you won't do anything gay?
Right.
Like, what's the like, at that point,
what is this show's hang up?
What is this show's hang up
with, like, making the boys kiss? It can't just be the network. I feel like this is like because like boys kissing on network TV. Listen, I'm not an expert and I'm not inside these meetings, but from what I understand, that's an issue that the cast of Glee ended with the power of song. You know what I mean? So yes. I can't imagine this was anything other than like actor discomfort. And I'm sorry to be parasocial about it, but like, one leads you to parasociality, so so bye.
Maybe it's a rule in his church.
By Rockmond. It wouldn't surprise me.
But not by Rockmond. He would never.
Not by. Straight Rockmond.
Straight Rockmond.
Lest we forget. I'm gonna scream. If you guys like this episode, don't forget to follow us on social media, First Years Podcast, spelled how it sounds. If you want to support us further, you can subscribe to our Patreon. This month, it really looks like the winning topic for our Patreon bonus video is going to be watching Angela Bassett movies, as Kyla said, for Melanated March. So subscribe if you want to hear us discuss such classics as Aquila and the Bee.
Well, we don't know what our selection will be yet. We were going to get Kyla's input because she asked.
I want to watch Aquila and the Bee. I want to watch Aquila and the Bee.
I watched it like 50 times in elementary school. We can touch on it, I guess.
I want to watch it again. I haven't seen it since I was a baby.
Okay, I guess we'll watch Aquila and the Bee, among other movies.
I love Lawrence Fishburne. I love Keke Palmer. I love Angela Bassett so much. I'm really excited.
But I think this was a fun discussion. We're a little over time, so I'll just wrap it up.
We'll just wrap it up. Yeah.
In conclusion, I would say, before anything else, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.